What's up, guys? I'm back with another movie review. Today I'm here to talk about Blockers. This is a teen comedy, kind of, because it's more about the parents than the teens, but it's structured like a teen comedy. You have three girls who are about to go to their prom. They're made a pact with each other that they're all going to lose their virginity, and because one of them leaves their laptop open, their parents are able to see it, and then the parents make a pact that they're going to stop the sex pact, and so they begin to hunt down their own children to keep them from having sex. And that's pretty much the movie. And then there's also some other side threads like how the parents are kind of coming to terms with their kids leaving for college and growing up. And one of the dads is kind of a little bit of a deadbeat because he's going through kind of a crappy divorce, and just stuff like that. But it's essentially just a over the top teen comedy disguised with these like family emotional beats thrown in. So this movie is another one of those like blank goes wild, and in this case we have teens go wild and parents kind of go wild in trying to stop the kids from going wild. But it's really not that wild. It's really not that wild like most of them are. Really don't ever live up to that premise. But at least this movie tries. It makes some nice efforts to be kind of crazy and over the top. Casting John Cena was a great idea, whether or not you like him as an actor. He's perfect for the part here. Seeing him in these outlandish situations is funny because the guy is so like clean cut and like nice guy persona, that seeing him in these bizarre, especially like there's a scene where he's like it accidentally stumbles into a blindfolded naked couple doing some like sexual exploration, and he inadvertently becomes part of that. And so the scenes with him work actually pretty well because he's such an awkward fit for those parts, and it adds a lot of humor to it. It does have some really funny dialogue at times, some kind of ridiculous situations. But where my problem with the movie isn't actually with the humor, because I think it's actually pretty funny when it wants to be. I just don't think the emotional beats hit at all. I don't think the family stuff really comes across that well. It just seems kind of forced because there's really just not much time given to it. And I know that you kind of have to put a bow on a movie like this, but this is an R-rated comedy, so I don't know why they had to hit it so hard and just not like have some little light, emotional, dramatic moments and focus in on the humor, because the movie works when it focuses in on the humor. It's got a great cast, super colorful cast, pretty fearless in some of the scenes. And like I said, even though it's not super insane, it does at least take some risks and do some pretty wild stuff. I mean, you got John Cena butt chugging alcohol. That's pretty awesome. Ike Barinholtz is really good in this. So is Leslie Mann. It's a really good cast given some pretty decent comedy material to work with, but then it just kind of falls apart when it tries to be serious or emotional. And that's a shame, because I do think there's a good, enjoyable movie in here, but unfortunately you have to suffer through some pretty lackluster parts to get to it. So as far as recommending it, if you just like, kind of mindless comedies or goofy comedies, give it a watch, and it's worth putting up with the, worth putting up with the kind of emotional fluff to get to the, to get to the comedy. And again, it's just a really brisk, light, comedy anyway, so it's not like you're probably looking for super deep narrative with a movie like this. And I think there's enough really good humor and really funny parts to make it worthwhile anyway. That's my review of Blockers. I actually liked it a lot more than I was expecting, because I thought it was going to be another one where they promise something super wild, but it ends up being like super tame. And while it's, it finds a nice middle ground where it actually at least, has some crazy parts in it. If you want to read my full write-up of Blockers, you can check that out at markfusion.com, as well as over 1,000 other movie reviews, including a ton of Gone Wild movies that I've watched, hoping and praying that they would actually go wild, and they never do. You can see pretty much all of the recent ones there. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon for exclusive content, and you can also go to Letterboxd and see what I've been watching. You can read I diary there what I've been watching, so you can check that out. See what might be coming here, make recommendations, or something that you'd like to see pulled off the list brought here sooner. Just let me know. The best way you can help me out, though, is just to hit that sub button. Free, easy, direct way to support me, help me to keep watching all these movies, keep making all these videos. And also watching old videos as well is a huge help. There's a ton of Gone Wild movies that didn't go wild in this playlist. Rough Night, Girls Trip, all kinds of stuff in there. So thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon.